Hey guys, and welcome to Let's Play Kabuki Quantum Fighter on the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game was released in 1990. It was developed by Human Entertainment and produced by HAL America, as you can see there. And it's a pretty well-made little platformer game, actually. If you haven't played it, then it is loads of fun, and I would suggest you do. And believe it or not, it actually has a somewhat interesting little backstory. I know most NES games didn't. They sort of skimped on that department because they were focusing on gameplay, but I think this is actually an interesting premise. Basically, what's going on is there's a virus in the computer system. This is what this scene is explaining, but it takes a while, so I'll just talk you through it. There's a virus in the computer system, and one of the things it is altering or affecting would be the nuclear weapons system. And of course, if you tamper with that, things could go wrong and all human life could end in a matter of seconds. So obviously we need to do something about that. In order to do something about that, let's let the screen change, we have this little device here. This is the image transfer system. Basically what it does is it takes the human mind, converts it into binary data, and inserts it into the computer where the person can run around and do things in the computer, of course. So we're going to take control of this, I think he's a colonel, Scott O'Connor. And he's being put into this machine, and we're going to have to go through the computer system as him and eradicate the viruses and all that. So it's kind of an interesting little concept, actually, especially if you're kind of a computer nerd like I am. So I don't know. I just think it's pretty cool. But anyway, let's skip over this little scene here. I mean, we've already talked about all this. So here we go. Kabuki Quantum Fighter. Let's do it. So here's our little boot up screen. As you can see, you might think your cartridge is glitched, but it's not. That's how it's supposed to look. And now we can start up round one. So as you can see here, we are this little robot thing. Basically, he's a Kabuki robot. I think the idea behind this is that, like, his ancestors were Kabuki actors, and the computer somehow picked up on that and turned him into one in here. I don't know. But the controls, of course, are simple. It is the NES. There's only a couple buttons: jump, attack. We also have our life bar down there and a chip gauge, which serves as ammo for our other attacks like this, as you can see. So, basically, I don't really use those chip attacks much, except for bosses, really, but, alright, let's go ahead and get going. You can see the life bar is actually quite large, and it just got larger because I picked up a heart to refill it. It starts you at about half full, I guess. But, yeah, it's actually rather forgiving, as you can tell. I mean, that's quite a lot of hits, especially compared to most NES games. And the difficulty actually isn't really that bad. A lot of NES games are known for just being frustratingly difficult and almost impossible to complete. But this game is definitely not like that at all. I think it's really quite doable, and that's part of what makes it such a good game also, is that it's accessible to a lot of people. So, there you go. Alright, so as you can see, it's really just your standard platformer deal. I mean, make it from left to right without dying, and punching things and hitting things with your hair along the way. I guess that's not really the standard, but that's kind of a cool attack anyway, you gotta admit. Alright, and of course our time limit's down there in the bottom right. It's usually very lenient. There's never really a problem with running out of time, so... Alright, and I guess this would also be a good time to sort of talk about the controls. They're a little bit loose. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it too much, because it is actually pretty good, especially compared to a lot of other games that, the controls are just awful. But it's actually quite loose. You jump pretty high, but it's pretty fast, as you can see. And also, you can accidentally cancel your jumps by pressing down. I can only go, like, so far into the air, or if I just hold down and mash the A button, I can do this. So, that's kind of a bad idea, if you ask me. I find I accidentally hit down quite a lot, because my D-pad is a little bit loose. So, sometimes I accidentally run my thumb over, and it can actually really mess me up in the jump. So, I think that was overall kind of a bad idea and makes things a little bit trickier, but it's just something to get used to. And you can also see this thing here that I'm playing around with. This is kind of... this game in a lot of ways is actually similar to Batman on the NES. There's a lot of similarities in the gameplay about it. And I guess this is kind of its answer to the wall jumping in that game. But it's kind of cool. It actually works pretty well. It makes the platforming really fun, actually. So, it's a good addition. I'm definitely not going to complain about it. I will, however, complain about those bouncing enemies. I hate those guys. Alright, here's the end of the level, so let's just make it through and not get hit by that guy. And there we go. We get our points tallied up from our time and our life, and if you were at less than full life, it would refill it slightly, and the same goes for chips. And now we are fighting the boss of Stage 1. As you can see, he bounces around a lot, but believe it or not, he's actually pretty predictable and not that hard to take care of. As long as you just keep your distance and don't run into him like that. He does have periods where he just stays there on the ground, and you can hit him a few times before having to jump over his attack. And keep in mind, your life will also get refilled some, so it's alright to get hit a couple times, because I'm sure my life bar will be refilled to max at the end of this. So there we go, we finish him off, and we can now move on. Attention! An invader in the program area. The defense system in Area 1 has been destroyed. He is proceeding to Area 2. You must find the access point immediately and cut off the invasion route. I guess that's the virus talking. I wouldn't think my own comrades would be talking like that about me, but anyway, as you can see here, our energy gun's power has been increased. Basically, after each round, you're going to get an upgrade to your arsenal, and we're going to check that out now. As you can see, we now have a second attack, which is that right there. Slightly more powerful attack, and it also goes the length of the screen, which is pretty good. So, I guess we can also use this opportunity to talk about the soundtrack. Now, I'm not going to claim it's like the best NES soundtrack ever produced or anything like that, because really it's probably not. But it is actually quite good. It suits the atmosphere rather well, and it sounds good. It's never overbearing. That happens a lot of times with NES games, but it works really well, and some of the tunes are actually quite catchy. So it's a good little background track to go along with our platforming here. Alright, and pretty much the main idea of this level, as you can see, is there's some water that's, of course, going to push us back. You're going to have to get used to this kind of mechanic because it's going to appear in... Oh, crap, I was totally screwed there. It's going to appear in various forms throughout many levels, so it's just something you'll have to sort of get used to. It's weird because it actually changes your momentum while jumping as well, so that can really throw you off, especially if it's going against you. But... Alright, so let's just keep making our way through. This level isn't really too tough. Now, these guys here, you kind of have to watch out for because they'll shoot their stuff at you, and it's a little bit hard to avoid when the water's working against you, but that's just how it goes. Alright, so let's take him out and then make our way up and over this thing. The little blue mouths will run fast at you if they see you, but if they don't, they'll just be normal. As you can see, they actually speed up quite a bit, so you just kind of have to learn to time their attacks out, or avoid them if possible. That's usually what I like to do. So there we go, we finished that stage at full life and full chip energy, which is cool. And now we're going to move on to the second part, which is relatively short. As you can see, our time limit is only like 50 seconds, so you're going to have to be a little bit quick here. Believe it or not, actually, I used to speedrun this game. That's been a while ago. I'm definitely not at that level anymore, but I played this game quite a lot back then, so I kind of know a little bit about what's coming up. What's unfair about this is that most of your jumps here are pretty much just blind falls. You want to stay to the left because there's an enemy to the right there, but you wouldn't know that if you hadn't been through this before, Also, there was a 1-up right there. You might have been able to see it was on that, up and to the left there. It was on that. I've never been able to get that once, so I don't know. I guess it's just kind of there to teach you. But anyway, let's finish up the second part of Stage 2. We got 10 seconds left, and now we can take on the boss. Now, the boss of Stage 2 is a lot like the boss of Stage 1. It kind of looks the same, and the room is sort of the same, but as you can see, he's a lot more annoying in terms of his attacks. If you keep your distance just right, he'll pretty much just jump over you with that jumping kick he does, and that'll usually let you get an attack in once he reaches the other side. As you can see, he's really kicking my butt here, so we're going to switch over to our power shots, and as you can see, that makes things quite a bit easier because you can keep your distance and, avoid those little blue things or whatever that he shoots out. Oh, okay, a little close there. I might have to, I'm gonna have to get the last few shots in on my own, but that's fine. Come on, hit him. There you go. Yeah, so that boss can actually be a little bit of a handful, but overall, he's not too bad if you have plenty of chip energy. Also, I guess there is one more thing we could go over, but I guess we'll do it after this little cutscene here. The Colonel has been apprehended in the program area. Wait, no I wasn't. Disaster! The Colonel's brainwaves have stopped. His life support system is holding up, but he won't survive long this way. Wait a minute. When is this happening? Quick, find another attack route. I'm trying to reach him. Oh, well, apparently we're in trouble and we didn't even know it. And now the fusion gun has been added to our arsenal. Cool. Now, the fusion gun is sort of like a little tri-directional shot. It's by that icon right there. You can shoot it like that, and it's all good. Now, what I was talking about before is that you can actually pause the game, and if you want, let's see if we can, I guess we can't do it here because we don't have enough chips or something, but you can actually convert life energy into chips. I don't know why it's not necessarily doing it right now, but I know it can be done. I mean, I've done it before, so maybe we'll try it out again later. I might just not have enough chips to do it or something, but... Alright, so now Stage 3 is basically a platforming level. We've had a couple that have been focusing a lot on fighting the enemies, but as you can see, there aren't really a lot of enemies here. It's mostly just working on jumps. So you really just have to time all this out, and of course, I messed up there and fell down. This happens a lot in this stage because it's basically just all climbing up, and, oh man, I'm typing that out horribly. Alright, we're running into a little bit of trouble here, but that's alright, we can make it. Alright, there we go. So go up here and then make our way up. Yeah, like I said, you're very prone to falling down in this level because it's all just straight up. So if you mess something up, you could very easily be sent all the way back down. So you don't want that to happen, so be a little bit careful here. Alright, and then of course ice has some pretty weird physics. It slows you down and pretty much keeps you going in the direction that you're running. So just make sure you're watching out for that. These fire things here can be very annoying. You just really have to time them out well. Otherwise, it's actually quite easy to get hit by them. See, there we go. I mean, you pretty much have to work it out just right. Also factoring in the delay between when you press the jump button and when he actually goes off the thing. Alright, so let's get onto this thing and then start making our way up. Gonna get hit. Yep. Alright, so let's wait for this. Or not. I could just get hit by it. Phew, there we go. Alright, now watch out for this little spike ball here. You gotta try to jump in between it. That can be a little bit tough because there's not a lot of room, but that's the only way I know of to get through it. Now let's just keep making our way up. Just watch out for that thing. Jump. There we go. You pretty much just have to work out when it's about to charge at you. Make our way up here, and this is the end of the stage. Awesome. So yeah, that one is actually, I like the platforming levels I always have. I think they're pretty well made. For the most part, that one can be a little bit frustrating, but, you know, in general, they're pretty well made and fun to do. And now we're going to fight the boss of Stage 3. This guy is actually very, very easy. It's pretty easy to avoid the slime he shoots out as long as you're not stupid like me and just stand right next to him. Just make sure you jump over him when he goes low. Eventually, once he reaches this stage, as you can see, he's going to start being pretty fast, so you have to get out one of your shots. The tri-directional shot, or whatever it was called, the fusion gun, I think, works really well. It seems to do the most damage out of any of your weapons against this guy, so pretty much just go whenever you get a chance and shoot him. Just make sure you avoid whenever he goes back and forth. And one more hit's going to do it, and of course I tried to jump over when he was up high. That was kind of dumb, but oh well. We'll get our life refilled anyway. At last, our hero has been linked up with the program area. His present location, having destroyed the defenses in Area 3, he is proceeding into Area 4. Oh, really? Is that how numbers work? Colonel, answer. Colonel O'Connor. This is Scott. Why were the communication lines disrupted after that last big shockwave? Your entry point has been sealed off. Okay, don't answer him or anything. After you destroyed the defense circuits in Area 3, we found a special circuit, and there's a new batch of enemies. Get to the defense circuits in Area 4 as fast as you can. Alright, so now we've been added quantum bombs, which sounds awesome. And they are actually pretty cool, but they do use up a lot of chip power, of course, since they're slightly more powerful. That's the little icon there. I don't really want to use one because I'd like to keep my chips, so we'll just stick with the hair for now. Like I said, I think I said this before, but I pretty much use the hair exclusively in areas, except for a couple places later on. Well, I'll need to use the chip powers, but... Alright, so we got this guy here. You want to avoid him because, as you can see, he's really annoying. He jumps around a lot, so you really want to just stay away from those whenever possible. We're going to have to... there are a lot of these swingy things as the levels go on, so that's just a mechanic you have to get used to. No, okay, I hate that guy. And this little platform is very bad. It doesn't really work that well, so... Alright, now let's just keep on going through. Now this guy here is going to pop up a hand, and as you can see, he throws sort of a boomerang at you. It's pretty easy to avoid. I usually just like to ignore them for the most part. Alright, let's keep on going through here. Got another hand. Want to wait for this guy so we can hit him. Avoid the boomerang and make our way through. Wait for a gap. Make sure you don't get hit by that guy. Ah, that was kind of dumb. I should have crouched and punched there, but oh well. Alright, you gotta take it kind of slow, because you never know when an enemy's gonna pop out. Now we got these guys that are gonna shoot at us. 2 shots will work. It looks like you might be able to duck under their shots, but you just barely can't. So, you have to jump over them. Just keep that in mind. Alright, and now look at the walls on the back there. That's kind of weird. I don't I don't know if I like that, but alright, let's make our way past that guy. And we want to stay up top here. Anytime you get the chance in this level, you always want to stay up top, because as you can see, we would need it to get over that wall there. And that bird there, I don't know how you're supposed to avoid that. And this guy's just running down the stairs. And of course, we got another bouncy guy. Tri-directional shot works pretty well here. You can just take him out. So that's a pretty good idea there if you don't want to get hit. You know, these guys. So yeah, pretty much when you get to this point, just take it slow and steady. This is also another place where you want to use your power to get past that guy, because you can't really jump over his hand due to the low ceiling. So just keep that in mind. We're just about at the end. Jump across here and make our way through. Alright, awesome. Now that we got a few more chips, I want to try... Yeah, see, look, we can actually switch if you press up or down. So you can actually sort of convert the two. So really, if you have like the maximum amount of chips, you have pretty much double the life. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, now we're going to take on the boss of this stage. What I like to do here is just take the hits, stay in the corner, do a crouch and punch. And as you can see, we're taking his life off pretty quickly. Eventually, after you hit him enough, he's going to go up to the ceiling, and we're going to have to use the tri-directional shot. So just do it that way. The 2 little things flying around, I really don't even worry about. I just take the hits, because you probably should have plenty of life at this point. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot to damage you back then, and the life refills are actually rather generous. So that's pretty much just what I like to do there, but it does require you have some life going into it at least. We have pinpointed the enemy's invasion route. It is coming up on the monitor. Ooh, the satellite Hyperion. Wait, look at the monitor. It's the Hyperion research satellite. But I thought it had been lost years ago. Are you sure it's the Hyperion? Of course I'm sure, but it looks like it's being controlled by the computer. Our own satellite, used in battle against us. But I thought all of our space probes were built with the self-destruct device. Can't we just blow it up? It's not that simple. The program to run it is stored in Area 5. Really? There's no way to get at it. We can't get at it. Okay. Colonel, did you hear that? Can you get in and knock out the defense system in Area 5? Roger, on my way. Sweet. So we can now use the remote control bolo. Okay. Whatever that is. It's actually kind of an interesting little weapon. I mean, you can use it and it'll pretty much just go around the enemies. And it works quite well. It does use quite a lot of chips, but honestly, I don't use it that much. It seems like it would actually be possible to utilize that quite a lot, but I really just don't for some reason. I guess that's not really my style of play or something. Alright, so now we're in stage 5, and this is where things start to get pretty difficult. It's another platforming stage. We're going to have a lot of conveyor belts and stuff in here, as you can probably already see. So you got to be really careful with your jumps. Let's take this guy out with the shots. And he will also always drop a 1-up, by the way. So you probably want to kill that guy if you can. Now we're going to have some of these places where the conveyor belts are going against us. You want to make sure you jump right at the edge of them. Otherwise, you probably won't make it, since, as I said before, your momentum is affected in the air by it. So, alright, just make our way on through. We're going to have a lot of these swinging type sections with the little spiky balls there. As you can see, you kind of want to take it a little bit slow and make sure you know what's coming up. Here, though, I like to just speed on through so you don't have to worry about those things. Let's go over here. We can duck under this thing. Make our way on up this way. And just time this out. This part's actually pretty simple. You don't have to worry about it too much. Just make sure you jump over that and then get a move on before it hits you from behind. And again, you need to stay up top here, otherwise you wouldn't be able to make it through that wall right there. Alright, we drop on down, and that's the end of the first part of stage 5. Sweet. Alright, so we're still at full health. That's definitely pretty good. Now, this is the second part of stage 5, which is much like stage 3 in that it's pretty much just an entire climb upward, but it's definitely a lot more difficult, as I'm sure you can imagine. I hate those guys. Okay, you know what? Let's just do it this way. We'll get both of them that way, too. Alright, so, yep, let's just keep on making our way up. We're going to have a lot of these things, which usually work against you. Sometimes they go with you. It's kind of hard to tell which way it's going, to be honest, so you really just have to get on it and find out. Also, you can attack while you're hanging here, which is kind of cool. You got that little kick. and we want to use the tri-directional shot to get on this thing here. You're gonna have to switch between your weapons quite a lot, and there are like 6 of them, so you know it can be a little bit time-consuming to do it that way. But all right, so let's just keep making our way up here. Ah, crap. It can be a little bit tough to actually get up, as you can see. The screen is rather crowded with enemies at the moment. I guess not anymore. Alright, take out this blue guy here. I like those guys, by the way. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but they're cool, whatever they are. You can actually skip this guy if you want to just jump straight up. I usually like to do that for speed purposes. Oh, crap. See, I didn't know that one was going to go with me. Alright, well, we'll just ignore that guy then. Oh, well, crap. I guess we can't ignore that guy. Alright. There we go. Alright, and obviously the green glowing stuff will hurt you, so don't stand on that. Watch out for the spike there, and keep making our way up. As you can see, we're pretty high up now, so the chance of falling is rather high. Then these conveyor belts going against you can be really annoying because, as you can see, you have to jump pretty much right on the edge. Now we're going to have this cool little swinging section, which is actually a lot easier than it looks. You have a lot more control than you might think when it comes to this. Alright, more conveyor belt things here. Actually, I don't even know what these things are, really. I have no idea. So. Okay, jump on the edge of these. It doesn't look like you'd have to, and of course I fell down. This is probably going to happen to you at some point during this stage. It almost always does to me. So, yeah, it doesn't look like it here, but you really do need to jump at the very end of each of these. So, just make sure you're timing it out very precisely. Like that. There we go. Now let's take this guy out with a shot, I think. I don't want to have to bother trying to get up there. And we probably should, yeah, grab this guy on the end there. Alright, take out the blue mouth up here. There he goes. And this guy up here, too. Come on, dude. Come back over here. Okay, fine, I'll do it this way. So if you don't want to come over here, I'll take you out over there. And of course I fell. Let me guess, all those enemies are going to respawn, too, right? Well, the blue guy did, at least. Hey, over here. Hey. Come on, you can see me. Okay, get him. There we go. You just gotta be patient here. It might take a little while, but you just have to wait it out. You really do. Oh, man. Alright. Jump up here. Jump over and get him. That was a little bit nerve-wracking. Alright, we should be getting somewhat close to the end here. This one is pretty long. There we go. Take that guy out. I think the end is actually just right up there, so that's good. Go across here, drop down onto this thing, make our way up over the green things, whatever they are, and to the exit. Phew, there we go. I actually really like that stage. It is a little bit frustrating, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's like super easy or anything, but I actually think it's pretty well made, so... Alright, now we're going to be fighting this big robot thing here. What I like to do, again, much like the, well, I don't know what that thing was called, but the thing that I just stuck in the corner and kept punching, I like pretty much just sitting here and taking the hits, because believe it or not, the final boss is actually quite easy if you know how to do it, so... and that is actually what's right up after this. This is the final area. So, let's just finish punching this thing whenever it exposes itself. One more should do it. There it goes. And now we've taken it out. As you can see, we've still got quite a bit of life left, too, anyway. We have failed. The enemy has deactivated the Hyperion self-destruct program. Is there anything we can do on this end? Nothing. Well, maybe there is something we can do. If we can get the kernel into Hyperion's main computer, he might be able to reactivate it directly. It's our only chance. This is Scott. I heard what you said. Get me there now. Is that okay, Colonel? The transmission program is running now. So here we go. We are approaching the final battle. We're now in the Hyperion satellite's actual computer. getting ready to actually take out the virus and reactivate its self-destruct mechanism. So, as you can see, it's going to start us out straight away with the battle. But basically, you can tell there's a very large safe area right underneath him. So, really, all you have to do is just wait for him to come down and hit him whenever you get the chance. This is really the slow and safe way of doing it. There are a couple of the swingy things up there if you want to sort of do it quicker but put yourself in more danger. Otherwise, you can pretty much just keep doing this. This is really why I said the final boss is actually quite easy if you know how to do it. So all you have to do is just stand right underneath him, and you'll pretty much be safe from everything he can do. He doesn't have any other attacks. If you want, you can avoid him on the left like that, but that's kind of hit and miss. You might as well just stay underneath him here. Alright, so I just got a few more. If you want to do it sort of the more dangerous and fast way, I guess I could now since he's about dead. You can make your way on up here and just sit here and kick. You won't always be able to hit him, but he'll usually put himself in range like this, and as you can see, you can just keep wailing on him. Oh, come on, man. See, I'm saying this the fast way, and now it's not really working that well. It just kind of depends on where he's at. So you can do it that way if you want. Oh, there we go. I got some good shots in, and that'll do it. Or not. Yeah, we got another phase to him, of course. This is where we're finally going to use our quantum bombs. You want to wait till he sort of opens his eye there. And I like this music, by the way. It's kind of weird. It doesn't feel like ominous at all. It's actually rather happy type music. But this is where I like using the quantum bombs. We can take him out there. And of course, I ran out of energy, but was able to finish him off with my hair at the last minute. That was actually a lot closer than it should have been, so... Alright, looks like we've taken him out. And finished up the game, pretty much. That's it. That was the final boss, so sweet. And yep, it's tallying up all our final points and everything, and now we have the closing cutscene. A message from Hyperion. Mission accomplished. The self-destruct program has been reconnected. Were you able to recover the kernel? Not yet. Of course, if he was still inside that program when Hyperion blew up. This is Scott. Control room. Can you hear me? Colonel, we had given you up for dead. I'd like to return to my body now. Yeah, I'd imagine. Can you pick me up at the access point? Roger. There we go. The Hyperion research satellite has been reduced to space dust. According to the investigation that followed... Okay, let's wait for it to scroll up a little bit so I don't have to pause. While the kernel was inside the satellite, the virus that had invaded the computer had grown and mutated at an extraordinary rate. The virus had taken the information from the computer banks and used it to spread terror across the universe. Oh, wow. Their stated goal of conquering the known universe was almost realized. But the human spirit and need for freedom are strong. Thanks to the efforts of valiant men like the Colonel, the spirit of peace lives on for all the peoples of planet Earth. But we must be ever vigilant. Who knows when this kind of terrorism might rise again? I don't know, is that really a common occurrence? That seems like, you know, sort of like a once-in-a-lifetime type thing, but oh well, whatever. So, yeah, we've defeated the virus, blew up the Hyperion satellite, and saved the world from certain destruction. So, yeah, all in a day's work for the Colonel, right? But there you go, that's Kabuki Quantum Fighter. You can probably tell, it is actually quite well made. I mean, it's fun, the music's good, it's not frustratingly hard, which I think is a pretty big factor in it. If you were to only have like a couple hits throughout that whole thing, that would be rather tough, but as it is, it's actually very, very playable, so I would definitely recommend you check it out, even if you're, you know, you don't really like NES games, because you're not very good at them, but, you know, like, I guess it's not really even a matter of that, it's that the game is usually unfair to you, but this one is actually, I think, very, very accessible, and if you pick it up, I can almost guarantee you won't regret it. It's definitely quite fun to play, very well made, and I really enjoy it, so... Alright, are we at the end of the credits already? That doesn't seem like a lot of people to have worked on this game. I guess credits lists back in the NES era were a lot shorter than those, you know, in the current day, which usually takes like an hour to go through the list, but there we go. Looks like at the end. Awesome. Alright, I think, yeah, if we hang around here, we get this little image of him and his Kabuki robot thing. It's actually kind of weird looking, but he does say, "I'll be back, watch for my next adventure." Unfortunately, there never was a Kabuki Quantum Fighter 2, so I guess that's just kind of left open. But now this is pretty much how you access your sound test. As you can see, we have all the different background musics. Now this one, I don't even remember. Oh, I guess that's just kind of a little fanfare. So yeah, we have all our different sound effects here if you want to listen to them. I don't know exactly how many there are. It looks like there are, let's see, that would be 16, I think, right? Because there's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's 17 sounds then. Yep, there you go. There's all our sound tests and everything, but now that we've beaten the game, I suppose there's not much left to do. So that's going to do it for Kabuki Quantum Fighter. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. It is rather fun, like I said before. Pick it up, you won't regret it. But anyway, I guess I'm going to sign out now. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.